Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Friday, November 24 spoilers for Days of Our Lives indicate that Harris Michaels surprised Leo Stark by informing him that he would be charged with murder. Harris provided information on Nicole Walker DeMira's baby's passing and revealed that E.J. DeMira was resolved to hold Leo accountable. Sloan promised to help Leo get out of this situation after he contacted and asked for assistance. Nevertheless, Sloan was overburdened with work and was unable to respond to Leo's problem immediately. During their phone conversation, Sloan also asked Melinda Trask how she could be so certain that Nicole and E.J. would never see the kid again. Melinda encouraged Sloan to concentrate on the enjoyment she would experience after raising this child with Eric Brady by acting as though she was only carrying out her duty. Eric arrived home to hear from Sloan that Melinda was taking him over since their kid had landed in Salem. Anticipating fatherhood and starting a family with Sloan, Eric was ecstatic. Dr. Pierce informed Nicole and E.J. at the hospital on Friday's episode of Days that the autopsy confirmed their fears. Dr. Pierce pretended that the infant's inside injuries from the collision were deadly. E.J. encouraged Dr. Pierce to bring in the infant since Nicole insisted on seeing and holding her kid again. Although Dr. Pierce didn't think that was a smart idea, he finally promised to make the necessary arrangements. When Dr. Pierce and Melinda later reconnected, they got into a fight because he felt he had to have a baby in order to trick E.J. and Nicole. Melinda instructed Dr. Pierce on what to say and do off-screen after concluding that he didn't actually need a child. On Friday's Dio Olo broadcast, Dr. Pierce informed Nicole and E.J. that it would not be feasible to view the baby's body while they were back at the hospital. Nicole and E.J. were furious when Dr. Pierce said that the infant had been mistakenly classified and inadvertently incinerated. Nicole finally concluded, though, that nothing would provide her the desired living son, therefore it didn't really matter. Melinda, on the other hand, delivered the infant to Eric and Sloan. Eric felt Sloan needed to hold the baby first, but as soon as she held him in her arms, he began to cry. On Friday's episode of Days, the baby calmed down as soon as Eric took over holding him. Not long later, Sloan gave it another go, but the infant refused to settle near her. Sloan became concerned that the infant may understand in just a split second that Eric was not his biological mother, and that she was. It was just one more thing to make Sloan think she wasn't suited for this. When Sloan opened the door after hearing a knock, she was shocked to see Dmitri von Leuschner standing there. Sloan had to get over the shocking news that Dmitri was returned. Ava Vitali listened to Harris' voicemail at home on Friday's Days program. He wished her a good Thanksgiving and inquired as to whether she'd have found his work keys somewhere. After Ava let Stefan DeMira in, she discovered that Clyde Weston had been compelled to step in for Gil Carter because he was posing a threat to Gabby DeMira. Since Ava had no other option, Stefan forced her to trust him by getting her to give him the evidence room key so he could create a copy. Stefan was going to walk away when Harris appeared and apprehended him. Stefan made up an excuse, saying he wanted to make sure Wendy Shin and Trip Johnson knew that they had misinterpreted what they had seen. Stefan left after telling Harris that Gabby wasn't guilty. Harris inquired about his keys once again while he and Ava were alone. After pretending not to have seen them, Ava met Stefan again in order to retrieve the key set. Since Stefan now possessed a duplicate of the evidence key, Ava was aware that she needed to return the key to Harris without arousing suspicion. Stefan believed that, though, to be the simple part because they would still need to find a way into the evidence room and take the evidence against Clyde's associate. Reunited with Melinda, she was compelled to give Dr. Pierce further cash out of fear that the baby-stealing scandal will explode out in their faces. Nicole waited for E.J. to bring back some sliders from the pub following her release from the hospital. Nicole was outside when Eric arrived pushing the baby in his brand-new stroller. When Nicole discovered that Eric had the baby already and that he was there to introduce Roman Brady to him, she was taken aback. Nicole stopped Eric before he could enter and begged, in a sorrowful voice, whether she might hold the baby. According to spoilers for Days of Our Lives, Nicole's maternal tendencies will cause Sloan and Melinda a lot of trouble, so keep checking back. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Monday, November 27 indicate that Leo Stark will be pressured by Jada Hunter to accept a plea bargain. However, Leo may decline and choose to have faith that Sloan Peterson Brady will find a way to save him. Dimitri von Luschner, in the meantime, is going to face Sloan at her apartment, and he hopes that this confrontation will help him piece together the story of how Sloan and Melinda Trask stole Nicole Walker DeMera's baby. According to teasers for other days, Eric Brady may be reluctant to let Nicole hold his recently adopted child. Given the loss Nicole is still processing, Eric might be concerned that it will be too traumatizing for her. Nicole, though, won't stop pleading with Eric until he gives up and gives the baby to her. From there, according to Day's predictions, Nicole will develop a motherly attachment to the child and begin to believe that Sloan has abducted her kid. As Nicole grows suspicious and finally demands a DNA test, E.J. DeMuro will continue to press Rafe Hernandez for details. Perhaps E.J. will inquire as to what further steps are being taken to find Dimitri and force him to pay. Day's teasers indicate that once Ava Vitali and Stefan DeMuro part ways, they'll start a cunning scheme. Fans of DOL are aware that the next task is to figure out how to enter the evidence room covertly now that Stefan has copied the key. Stefan and Ava will talk about their options and cross their fingers that they can successfully retrieve the evidence against Clyde Weston's colleague. Naturally, Ava will also need to hide the original key set, or at the very least, trick Harris into thinking he missed it, somewhere he hasn't looked. In any case, Ava will double down on the lies and take all necessary measures to prevent Clyde from pursuing Trip Johnson. Since Gabby DeMera's life is in jeopardy while she is incarcerated, Stefan will be encouraged to continue complying with Clyde's demands as well. According to spoilers for Days of Our Lives, Stefan and Ava's relationship will cause more problems than they anticipated, so check back for updates on the wild news that's coming up. While he is surprised to see her leave the hospital, Nicole is taken aback to see Eric holding his baby at such a young age. He says, clumsily, that he ought to bring the infant inside to see his father. Is it possible for Nicole to hold him? Naturally, what happens when you put two people like Stefan and Ava together will happen. Not that, please. The other inherent ability of theirs, devising a plan. Be that as it may, the couple has opened the gift shop just for Christmas shopping. In addition, they informed Sister Spouses fans that they couldn't uncover the consequences of the remodel because of the legally binding limitations from the series. The guests can view the carriage house itself by coming there. Thanks for watching if you like this video. So please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.